We're not looking back, and there ain't no stopping us now. What awaits you is right in front. It's something new, and it's just for you. So join me for that new thing starting now on A New Thing Live. Hello and welcome to A New Thing Live. I'm so glad that you're with us. My name is Cyndi Galley, and I am the host of this fabulous, fun, faith-inspired show. And we're so glad that you're here with us, whether you're watching us live or you're watching us on demand. We're just so glad that you're here. You are not here by chance. No, you're supposed to be here. If you are already following us, then you already know what to do. But if this is your first time, we're going to ask you just to hit the subscribe button so that you can be in the know and you can get strengthened week after week on this very channel. We do have A New Thing Live on Monday nights, and every now and then I'll pop in on a morning just sporadically and just give a word of encouragement, a word of strengthening as I feel inspired or led to do that. So for those of you that don't know, this is a participating show. So whether you're watching us from one part of the world, maybe you're not in SoCal, or maybe you're not in the States, or if you are in the States, just let us know where you're watching us from. And then when we talk and when we're conversing, we want you to jump right in there with us. Like say yes, or I never thought about that, or yeah, I used to love that back in the day. Just interact with us. And this way we can comment on the things that you're talking about. And then we love when you comment on the things that we're sharing about. This is a fairly new show. We've been around for just about a year and a half, but we love it. We do this for you. We wouldn't do this. I couldn't think of another way that I'd want to spend a Monday night. I feel so honored and blessed to be able to do this. So for those of you that don't know, we like to start the show off just like some of the things that are happening around the world. And really, this is, I like to call it a safe place. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, not just the war. Even before the war, there was already things that were happening and tensions within our own nation. And then of course, the pandemic and just so many things that are hitting us and bombarding us. And now we've got financial things that we're like, people are just saying, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? But we wanted to make this a place for you to come and just to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to take time out from life and I'm just going to sit. I'm going to enjoy, let my hair down. I'm going to kick my feet up and I'm just going to listen and just let my heart be strengthened. Let my heart be encouraged. And so I want to tell you, our special guests, they bring so many powerful things to the table. So many things have been shared from this very platform. And then I'm hearing from other people. Guess what? I started my business. Guess what? I launched this new thing because of this show and because of that coach. Or guess what? Now I'm being life coached by one of your special guests. And it's amazing. It's so amazing. And our team gets so excited to see how our guests are impacting your lives. And so you're the reason why we do this. We feel like everybody, myself included, every one of us needs to step from where we're at, and we can always be better. We should always be aiming to be better, to work on things, to develop our gifts and all of those other areas, maybe those things that you've hidden that have been there, but you're just too afraid. Well, we're saying, come on, we want to pull it out. Like, come on. You could do this. You could do this. So we're so glad that you're with us. Thank you for joining. We're live on Monday nights and we really do have a great time. Okay, so we love holidays on this show. So let us just share some of the holidays that are already kicking off this month, this week. So would you believe that on the 14th of April, that's just 3 days from now, it's International Moment of Laughter Day. I didn't even know that we had that. Did you? And so really, honestly, guys, like tonight's guest, you're just going to be like, no way, but yes way. You're going to go like, no way. And we're going to say like, yes way. International Moment of Laughter Day. So this is a day really where you're just setting some time aside to laugh. Maybe laugh a little bit more. Maybe you're so serious Maybe you take life too seriously. Maybe you realize that you're a little bit more grumpier than the average bear. So you're going to say, okay, I've got 3 days to start gearing up to have a day full of joy and laughter. And there's some ways you can do it. There's some ways you can do it. If you want to chat with us, what are some of the things that do make you laugh? What are some of the sounds or the sights or the noises that make you laugh? I know for me, it's kids. When kids are giggling, oh my goodness, I laugh and I giggle. There's just such a freedom when their little voices are giggling. And it's like to be that young and carefree again, right? When I was younger, I wanted to be older. And then now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, I wish I were younger. But, what are some of those things that make you laugh and that bring a smile to your heart? Do you have a favorite laugh? And I was thinking of some of the TV personalities. I was thinking of Janice from Friends. Her laugh when she's like, hey, she always had this weird, but it would always make me laugh. I'm like, oh my goodness, Janice. So, just kind of think of some of those different things or people or shows that would just bring a smile to your face. Proverbs tells us that laughter does good like medicine. And then according to Izzy Giselle, and I hope I'm saying his name right, he says laughter comes right after breathing. It's just as about as healthy. It's the healthiest thing that you can do. It relieves stress, it instills optimism, it raises self-confidence. Did you know that laughter raises self-confidence? Right? Isn't that crazy? Yes. And it diffuses resistance to change. I'm like, I could see how that could be a thing. And it enhances your relationships. So make a decision. If you're not a person that generally likes to laugh, well, then this week on the 14th is your special day. And maybe do something out of the ordinary. I have friends that love watching the America's Funniest Home Videos. I mean, some of those are so funny. Watch something like that, or maybe put on a funny meme or just something. Maybe watch an old sitcom, an old episode of I Love Lucy. There are so many things that we can do to laugh. And you can also make yourself laugh. Sometimes you could just kind of just start making yourself laugh. And then I think before you know it, you're like really laughing, right? I think. So that's National Laughter Day. That's this week. Okay. Now don't forget that on the 15th, on this Friday, is National Tax Day. And so I just want to remind, it's not one of those fun days, but it's an important day. And if you remember last year, because of the pandemic, we were given an extension, I think a few months extension, not this year. Right? Yeah. This year we're getting 3 days extension. They're extending it so where you can still file by the 18th, Monday the 18th, which is 1 week from today. So get that in there, get your taxes done, and then this way you don't have to be stressing. So maybe you need to work on it this week and whatever you need to do, get your taxes done between the 15th and the 18th. Now, most importantly, oh, Lavette, I see Lavette. She just said, oh my goodness, I need my glasses.
Her mom makes her laugh.
I love laughing with my mom. We laugh so hard till my tummy hurts. I love that. That's so fun. Yes.
That's the belly laugh.
Yes. And then Davis says, Martin. Martin's show makes me laugh. You're so cute, Dava. I love that. So yes, tell us how you laugh and just keep encouraging each other while we're here on the show. Okay. So one of the most important things though this weekend, I mean, there's all these other holidays, but really for many believers around the world, this weekend is like our celebratory weekend. And it already started on Palm Sunday. And that was this past Sunday. That was yesterday. And so now this Friday is Good Friday. That's when the Passover took place. And then Sunday is Resurrection Sunday. A lot of people call it Easter. And I believe it was originated maybe in the Grecian world. I'd have to really look into that. And I think it was like Oester. Wasn't, now we call it Easter. But really I say no. Oh no, happy Resurrection Sunday. This is the day that the Lord resurrected, where he fought hell and the grave, and he won. He had victory. And when we sing these songs like forever he is glorified, that song by Carrie Job, I mean, you just cannot help but weep and think of all that he went through, that he endured, so that we could walk in freedom, so that we could walk in peace, so that we could walk in health and wholeness. Do you need healing? Do you need peace? Do you need restoration in your life? Well, these are the things that Jesus already provided for every one of us on the cross. And then when he said it is finished, he conquered it. He conquered it. And this is why I get so excited about the word. See, to me, the word is living. It's not just stories. No, the word is living, and it's powerful, and it's sharper than any two-edged sword. And this is why when we read it, you get those piercings like, oh, Lord, you're shining that light down on me. This work. It's not just like, oh, that was such a nice story. Yeah, it's a nice story, but it's life. There's life in that story. And then there's practical application that we take from that. So we get to celebrate the risen Lord, the resurrection, the redemption, the restoration. Oh my goodness, he redeemed my life from destruction over and over and over and over again. So maybe you've walked away. Maybe you've turned your back. Maybe you've slighted the Lord a little. Maybe you've never even known him. Go to an Easter service. Go to a resurrection service. Just say, you know what? A New Thing Live was telling me to go to service. Oh, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I'm just going to watch it online. Ask him. Say, but I know I may not even really know you, but I want to see what this celebration is all about this weekend. So show me where I'm supposed to go. Lord, can you show me? Even if you don't talk to him like that, would you do that this week? And then celebrate him and see, what things he'll do. So we wanted to provide a couple of options for you. If you're in the Southern California area, I attend The Rock, Anaheim. And so we have it. We have information. We want to pull that up right now. And we have services like in service Saturday night, 2 services Saturday night, 3 services on Easter Sunday. And that's going to be at 8, 9:45, and 11:30. And then for those of you that maybe do want to do online, you have a little bit more of a bend toward the middle part of the U.S. or the eastern part of the U.S., I'm going to invite you to join my sister's church as well. And her husband, they are senior pastors, and I love their messages so much. So I'm inviting you to take a look and visit, if it's something that you do that's online, chapelvalley.org. But if you're here in person, SoCal, come on down to The Rock, hang out, say, hey, Cyndi, I'm going to be at this service and I'd love to meet you. Let's do that. And let me just give you a big bear hug with my double masks on. And then if you're in the Fitchburg, Madison area, then head on down to Chapel Valley. And if there's something in between and you go, you know what, I don't know where to go. Can you help? Yes, we will help you. We will find a church. We'll send you a link to say, hey, these are some of the great churches in the area. We just want to be a resource to you. Okay. We want to be a resource to you. So we're winding down now. Whatever you do, whether it's Easter at The Rock, Easter at Chapel Valley, Easter online with your family, be safe. Have a beautiful time celebrating. Please don't do it alone. I've done many holidays alone as a single woman, and I have to say that's not the best place to be. So if at all possible, be with the ones you love, even in the midst of this pandemic. Make sure you don't have any symptoms of anything. And if you have symptoms of something, then maybe you need to take a test before you join, and then let them know, hey, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. Do the responsible thing, but don't be alone. Whatever you do, don't be alone. Okay. So, we love laughter, right? I love laughter. Do you love laughter, Pat? I love laughing. I know you love. We love laughter here. And tonight's guest loves it too, and for more reasons than most. But do not go away, because we will be hearing from her as soon as we get back from this message. So don't go away. It's an all-new season 2, bringing you now more than ever before. You'll be inspired. Welcome to A New Thing Live. Now you get to lead everybody. Girl, you leading everybody doing that.
Let's just go for it.
Yes. You'll be strengthened.
When you're living in your sweet spot, and you have the greatest impact in the world and with the other lives that you're in contact with. Purpose, connection with other people.
We get real.
The King family legacy.
Yeah.
And we work in that manner towards human dignity, from the womb to the tomb, loving each other.
And we have fun.
I've seen every Star Wars, but I do not like Star Trek.
Oh, no, we got a problem now.
We're going where we've never gone before, and we're inviting you to come along. It's season 2 of A New Thing Live on Monday nights. Subscribe today. Yes, so subscribe today. If you've never subscribed to our channel and this is your first time watching, whether you're watching us on Roku, hey there Roku world, or whether you're watching us on Facebook, or maybe you are on YouTube, but you have not yet subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. We have so much fun here. There's a lot of freedom, a lot of laughter, and we have, we're always developing. We have some great ideas for some segments coming down the road. I'm like, I cannot wait. We're always wanting to do that new thing too. We're not just saying, hey, you need to do it. No, we need to do it too. So we're doing a new thing, but we'd love for you to be a part of our New Thing Live tribe, family, community, all of the above. Okay, so who is ready for tonight's guest? I'm so excited. Pat's always ready. She's waving her hand. And yes, Dawn, we see that you usually procrastinate, girl. So don't procrastinate with regards to your taxes, okay? Okay. You won't do it and I won't. I have to say that I'm not there yet, but hopefully I will be. I did reach out and say, "Can I get an extension?" Can you? Yeah. So anyway, okay. Let me bring it back, Cyndi. Bring it back. Okay, so with today's and this week's International Moment of Laughter Day, we couldn't think of a more fitting individual to be a guest on tonight's episode of A New Thing Live. Before we bring her out, before we introduce you to who she is, let's take a quick look at some very good advice she's giving and that she just vocalized today on her YouTube channel.
Why you should never give a grown boy a second chance. Because he doesn't have the capacity to love you or the character to keep you.
That is powerful. I mean, that's just like a little bit of words, and she said what needed to be heard. I would say, ladies, like, please listen up, and men too, especially if you're single. Listen up because she's full of wisdom. And I mean, when I saw that little clip today, I go, oh no, we need to show that before you bring her out. I mean, she just calling it like what it is. A lot of times we try. Okay, let me not start preaching. Let me bring her out and then she and I will get into this together. She's an international selling author, certified life coach, mentor, mom of 7, who utilizes her books and online platforms to educate people about self-love, healthy relationships, and help them. She doesn't just want to help them. She also wants to help them become authors. Can you believe that? I love that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait for you to meet her. She is grateful to share her story and to inspire others. And tonight she's here with us to inspire us as she shares hers. Would you please help me welcome the Queen of Laughter herself, the Queen of her Laughter tribe as well, Miss Krystle Laughter. Krystle, welcome.
Hey everybody. Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Oh my goodness. It is such an honor and a joy to have you on our show. Krystle Laughter on the show the same week of International Laughter Week. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. I never heard of that either. I think that's hilarious.
You know, when we were first connecting about the show, I think we were thinking possibly March. And then what we do is we scroll down to see, okay, what's coming up down the pipeline. And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's like literally an International Laughter Day. So like Krystle Laughter, let's see if that's the day she's going to come on the show. But thank you so much. I know you have so much going on. Girl, I see your YouTube channel. I'm like, I subscribe to your channel.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Wow.
Yes. Well, how are you doing? How have you been? I mean, this is the first time we're officially meeting, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing great. Like you said, I'm super busy.
Yeah.
Mom of 7 right now. So I'm a single mom of 7. Just trying to, run my business, inspire others.
Yeah.
And just really just turn everything into purpose to glorify God. Because like in the end, like that's it. If it doesn't glorify God, if it doesn't have a purpose, then what's the point? So like, yeah,
So
people need hope. People need encouragement. So I know
yeah.
I do. So like if I need encouragement, I know other people do. So let me go ahead and use what God's given me to do that. So
And you're doing it so well, and you're doing it at
thank you.
multi levels and multi
Mm,
layers,
thank you.
and of course, not everybody has the capacity to do that. When we
Mm,
read the parables, you see what, one was given one talent, one was given, a little bit more, one was given
yeah.
five. And so
Mhm.
clearly you've been given the more. And then because he was like, oh, she gonna steward that. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I guess so. Because I'm like, and I have to pray. I'm like, Lord, did you really give me all this? And like, you said you would, like, so I'm just like, God, just keep me. And
Yeah.
I'm helping your daughters, your children. Keep me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just, life just gets overwhelming sometimes. But I thank God that in the midst of everything, that
Yeah.
He's keeping me and He's just giving me joy and laughter.
I literally laughter.
Yeah.
Yes, your last name. And so now you have 7 children.
I have 7 children. I know.
Wow.
Like, I didn't plan on, like, I didn't grow up like, oh, I want to have 7 kids, Um, but yes, I do have 7 wonderful children. My oldest she will be 15 this year. My youngest will be 2 this year. So yes, I have 7 children. Was
Wow.
married 2 times previously, and it just didn't work out. Didn't have the wisdom, the understanding that I have now, and
Mhm.
that's why I really just talk to women about relationships, because relationships, they impact every area of your life, you know what I mean, for the better or
Well,
for the worse. And so I
mhm.
really tell women what I wish I would have known, so that they don't get into situations, even if they do, that they know that there's hope, that there's encouragement, that they don't have to give up, that it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and that God can still use you. You still have a purpose, and you can use that purpose to glorify God, and just to bring freedom, even financial freedom, which God has done for me through my books and is continuing to do, and I'm just really grateful.
Wow. I mean, yeah, you're amazing. Looking at so I just published my first solo book last week
Oh,
on
congratulations.
Thank you. It's a children's book, and there
Oh,
are others, but that was the first one. And then there
okay.
was one that I did last year. Oh, Sonia, you're so cute. I
Oh,
love you.
cute.
It's called A Tale of a Praying Princess. They
Oh,
surprised me with that. I didn't know that was going to pop on.
oh, I love
Thank
it.
thank you guys for that. But so I've been working on my author's page on Amazon, and girl, you got a hefty like lineup of books.
I I do, and like, oh, it's like hard to believe for me sometimes, because I'm so used to just like doing things that I don't really comprehend, like the level of what I'm doing until someone points it out to me. They're like, "Did you really write it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And I'm like, and they're like, "How did you do that?" Especially being a single mom and all this. I'm like, I don't
Yes.
do. I've always loved books since I was a kid. Like my mom will tell you, I used to spend like the summers in, like, we had this big old van. It didn't have any seats in the back. I used to spend hours every day just reading books, just getting lost in books. And so I've always loved books as a kid. And I love it that God says in His Word that He'll give us the desires of our heart. And I
Yeah.
had forgotten about that. You know what I mean? Like as we grow up, we do life, we forget about our dreams, our hopes, and like God reminded me like how much I used to write like poetry. I used to like write like little
Mm,
stories, and just love reading. And He just really brought that back to my memory. And I'm like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
I've always loved books. This has always been like a part of God's plan for my life. And now He's revealed that to me. And I'm like, thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you for revealing me to me. Like, cause like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's
you-
so good. I love that. I mean, we can all learn from that. We all need to have revelation of who we
yeah,
are in that regard, you know.
absolutely.
And so and just looking at some of those titles, I'm gonna name a few, and then of course I
Okay.
would love for us to talk in a little bit about your most recent, but he doesn't love you if dot dot dot. I'm like, yes, girl. Come
Yes.
on, ladies, wake up.
Come
Single
on.
ladies, wake up.
Yeah.
I love You're a Diamond. I think that's just like
Mhm.
every woman needs to know that.
Absolutely.
Love yourself first.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
good. I think a lot of times we don't do that. We want to love others and put the love of others first. So I mean, it's like, oh, I want to get all these books, but I know I'm excited about getting the most recent. Well, all of them. I think it's called your Love series or your Love Yourself series is what I was
Yeah, the
reading.
Love Yourself series. It's a
Okay.
4-part series. Yeah, that's one in the back that you can see back.
I'm excited about that. And you've got a workbook so that you're helping us do the work.
Yeah.
You've got journals, you've got kids books as well. So we're gonna have to talk when we're done with this show.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I love this. And so, I mean, clearly you're a woman on a mission.
Yeah.
And it's so evident to see that you're taking these things that have happened to you. And now you're saying, I'm going to give out of what I've learned from the things that I've walked through and things that I've experienced.
Yeah.
When did that first hit you? Like, this is what I'm going to do. I want to help other women to keep from making the same choices that I've made, or from maybe not doing the same things that I've done the way that I've done it. When did that first come to you, like as a thought?
That's interesting. I think I would say in 2019. And you might hear my kids in the back because
yes, we want to hear them.
they're not happy right now because they're used to being here close to me, and they're like, Mom, just give me 20 minutes, okay, just 20 minutes. But in 2019, I was separated from my husband. I knew that we were going to be, going to the divorce. And I had tried everything to make it work, did the counseling, try to change me, trying to do everything, better myself, improve myself, try to compromise and everything. And it just wasn't working. And so he was gone. But of course, it's still like, because we have we have 5 together. The 2 are from the previous marriage.
Okay.
And so he was of course, coming to help with the kids every so often. And then, you still have that little spark, the little hope, like maybe it could still work. And, so I just had a moment. I was like, okay, maybe it's going to, you know what I mean? Maybe it's going to work. And, I found out like a couple weeks later that I was pregnant, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Because I had just like, literally came to like accepting that, okay, I'm going to be a single mom with 6 kids. That's hard. But, it's already been hard these years anyway. And I've already been kind of like doing it by myself. And so I had just, comprehended that and like settled with that. And so to find out I'm pregnant and gonna be a single mom of 7 kids, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just, I went to such like a dark like place of like hopelessness. And especially because like I've been in 2 like abusive, mentally, emotionally, marriages. The first one was physically abusive, but this last one was mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually abusive. And so I blame myself a lot. And victims, of violence will tell you that they'll blame themselves because that's what they're used to doing. They've been conditioned to blame themselves. And so I'm here like, man, it's my fault. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. How did I let this happen again? Like, Krystle, you're better than this. You know better. You knew, how did you fall for the same old again? You knew nothing changed, and yet you kept on holding that hope, and you shouldn't have done that. It's your fault. Da, 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 da. And so I was like, man, I don't want to be stuck in this place because I try to be a very positive person. And so I'm like, okay, I can't be stuck in this place. How can I get out of this place? And so I'm listening to YouTube videos, trying to be mentored about like my situation, trying to get revelation, understanding about what I'm going through. I enroll myself in counseling or therapy. And then a mentor that I'm following, he's like, turn your pain to purpose, don't just sit with it. Don't just, let it overwhelm you, turn your pain. And he just keeps saying this. He keeps saying this. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I need something to hold into. I need something to grab onto to get me out of this dark rut. Otherwise, it's going to consume me. So I'm like, okay, let me turn my pain to purpose. Let me write a book. And I had already written 2 books. My first book was You're a Diamond, and that's a devotional book. And then my first children's book was When I Think of You, and it was a tribute to my nephew who passed away. And so I had already written 2 books, but I just wrote it, I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to do something different. So let me write a book. So I wrote a book, but this was different. And that I knew it was like kind of like my life raft. It was like, I'm going through so much right now. I feel so dumb. I feel so stupid. I feel like my life is over. I don't know what's ahead of me, but I know that I know what I've learned, and I've learned a lot. I know I have all this wisdom and understanding that I wish I would have known years ago. And
Yes.
why don't I write a book and put it into a book that someone else can read, and hopefully, if it just touches one person, then I will have done my job.
That's
And so,
good.
that was in I think probably like November 2019, and then I'm pregnant, I'm writing the book, when the kids are sleeping at nighttime, and I'm not even really sleeping at night at all, because like my whole focus is like pouring out, this is my healing process. This is me telling my story. This is me giving my wisdom. This is me, asking God just to, just do whatever you're doing in me. And, and so I have something to focus on.
Mhm.
So some nights I would sleep probably like 2-3 hours. The rest I'd be writing my book. And God just gave me so much grace. He gave me so much grace. He just gave me
Wow.
so much peace during that time. And again, I'm newly single mom. I'm pregnant. It's just doing everything, dropping the kids off, taking care of the kids, and at nighttime I'm writing. I'm just writing. Got my laptop. I'm focused, and I'm doing this. And so,
Wow.
I know, crazy. I don't know how I made it. Just God. There's no other way. Like, there's literally no other way. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other way. Like, some things you can like, okay, I did this. No, I didn't. So I take no credit for the things I've accomplished, for God's grace in my life, for my ability to, take care of my children. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know a lot of people would be so overwhelmed. They're like, I can't do this. Somebody just take them. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I can tell you at one of my darkest moments, like I was pregnant. I think it might even been before I got pregnant. And I was just like, I felt so hopeless, and I felt so alone.
Mm.
And, their dad at the time, he wasn't really helping, and so it was just me by myself. And I'm in my car, and I'm like, God. And I don't even think I had God. I don't even think I had the capacity to even say God. But I'm like literally thinking, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't put myself here. What can I do with my kids? Because I can't do this. It's too much. And I didn't call anybody. I didn't try to take them anywhere. But like literally just being vulnerable. Like I literally was like, okay, who takes kids when you can't take care of your kids? Who comes to help? Because I can't do this. I can't do this. It's too much. But then even in the midst of that moment, that moment of, feeling like I can't do it, that God was still there, and he still gave me grace, and, allowed me to pick myself up before my kids got out of school, wherever they were at the time, at daycare, and get myself together to be okay for them. Because that's what I pray a lot, as a mom, that I want them to have a good life. I want them to know that the things that have happened are not their fault. I want them to feel safe. I want them to know God's love. I want them to know that God is still good. And I teach my kids, God is still good. Look at him providing for us. Look at him watching over us. And I share my journey with them. I share the things I've learned. I share, if I'm selling books, hey, look how many books I sold today. Look at that,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I'm teaching the things that I didn't learn. And even from like investing, I just learned about investing like 2 years, like in 2020, like when all that happened and everything, and then the stimulus money or whatever it's called, I looked at how to invest that, and I'm trying to teach my children how to be wise. Don't just spend all your money. And so we learned about investing. I opened my investment account, I'm like, look how much money we got in our investment account. And I even opened them an investment account, and just like, it's just like all these wonderful things that are happening. And
so good.
Oh, good. I'm just so grateful. I'm sorry. I got off track. I'm sorry, because there's so much.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving listening to your story. It's so good. I'm just think so many things come to mind. First of all, you're writing your pain, but then you're being healed in the process.
Yes.
And then, but you're also pouring out, and so now others are gonna also be strengthened by what you're pouring out. And I think sometimes when we go through things, can't speak on the behalf of a man, but I love that whole idea of working through that to help somebody else, because a lot of times you just internalize it and you cry and it's just me, and then it's of course getting that pain out is great, but how much better and more fruitful to be able to get that pain out and then get it out to teach others and to help strengthen others in the process. I cried for a whole month. It was a boyfriend breakup when I was in seminary, and girl, no book came out of that. There was no book. There was no song written. There were no poems.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
So I just love your, your thought process and how you were able just to take that and then, but still be able to write it and to write a book in the midst of that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I love that you shared is that you are doing the work even at night, 2 in the morning, 1 in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
I think people need to, it's important for people to understand sometimes there are dreams that we have. And then it's like, well, how can I do that? I work a full-time job or I have a mom, I'm a mom to 3 kids. Well, you have 7, at the time you
Yeah.
had 6,
Yeah.
and you were pregnant with your 7th, but
Mhm.
you locked into what's going to
Love
work
it.
for me and how am I going to get this done?
Yeah.
You called
Yeah.
on the Lord and he gave
Mhm.
you the grace and the strength
Yes.
to do it.
He did. He did. And I think it's important to realize that there are seasons to everything.
Yeah.
Like that season, it was a short season, but it was a season that needed to happen. And so there's gonna be a time that you're gonna have to sacrifice for what you want, for your purpose, for that vision, for what God has called you to do, or for whatever it is you want to do, whether it's eating healthy, losing weight, starting a business. There's going to be a time where you're going to have to not be doing the things you might want to do. But in the end, there's going to be such a big reward if you just don't give up, if you don't faint, like the Bible says, that you're going to get there. And I am a living witness of that. With that book, that Love Yourself First book, this is the book that I wrote, and Turn the Pain into Purpose. And this book I checked about 2 weeks ago, it sold over 4,000 copies.
Wow.
4,000 copies organically. This is God's grace. This is God's goodness. And every month, like, I get paid from this book.
Wow.
And
I
just
love
to be
that.
I love being transparent. Like my highest month, I think I made like $3,600. And I'm just like, God, because one of my biggest fears, and I think a lot of women who are in like bad relationships, how am I going to take care of my kids? And it's not like I'm like ignorant or I don't have education, but like it's that you don't know, you lose your identity, you lose your confidence, you don't believe in yourself, and you doubt yourself so much. So I was like, okay, God, you want me to leave? Okay, how am I going to take care of the kids? How am I going to do this? And so I stayed so long because, I was wondering that. I knew it was over for a long time, but just the fear. I didn't want to be a single mom. I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to I didn't want to be a failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for God to do this, so I don't have to get up and go to a job. I don't have to get up and go to a job. I literally can get like this money is coming from without me doing anything extra. And it's been 2 years consistently. And I have to just, oh my gosh, just God's goodness.
Yes.
Like the very first month, and it was when the pandemic hit. So this released April 1st, 2020. And it's so I didn't realize it was selling until like May of that year. And I'm like, they sent me an email like about some money. I'm like, money for what? And then so I go back and check my account. I'm like, oh my goodness, my book is selling. And then I promise you, from that day forward, it has every month it has like doubled and went up over. And this is for like 2 years straight. We're in 2022 now.
Love that.
It's so growing. I'm like, God, you are faithful. God, you are good. God, if you did it for me, how can you not do it for anyone else? And that's why I'm just so grateful. I'm so thankful and just.
Wow. Well, you're such an inspiration. And I had to chuckle, because now I'm following you as well now, on social media. And I just love all of your, toxic baby daddy, why I go, oh, she's fun. Just some of the little, and then of course, parenting with a grown boy.
Yeah. Like that sometimes. It's like that.
Yeah. And then of course you have your like just be you, but just such, I can tell that it's very real and you're not holding back, which I think is important. I just had that conversation with my pastors. They co-pastor, a husband and wife, and I was, with the wife, and she's a co-pastor, and we're talking just about some of these real conversations that need to happen in the church, so that people really can have hope And then they can hear other people that have walked through these things that people really aren't talking about. It's like you walk through it and a few of your choice friends might know, but we're not proclaiming it. Now I shout some things from the show. I've talked about having a miscarriage at the age of 19 and being so, I didn't know how to get out of that darkness. I was just in this deep hole. I didn't know. So I was doing this. I was reaching for all these different things to try and numb the pain. And it wasn't working. Nothing was working. I was like, I hit rock bottom and said, and then I said, I need to call out on the Lord. I know that that's what I have to do, And so I've shared that and how he literally turned my sorrow and mourning and sadness and darkness and depression into like rejoicing. Like I was sobbing and 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm yelling like, whoa, and I had never done anything. I didn't know what was happening to me. I was just like, but I was going with it. And so, but for the longest time, even being in youth ministry, I never wanted people to know that that was my story. Never wanted to share it, until I was speaking at a youth retreat. And then the Lord said, that's what you're going to share. I said, oh, and then he always has me share those things that really will help other individuals. So I'm thankful, to women like you that, because I needed him to be like, do it, where for you, I just feel like it just kind of just flowed out from who you are. And now you have this, so you have this brand new book now, a newer book. And I love all the design. I love the gold. I love gold and silver and all that. And so, Love Yourself. Is that the one that we're promoting? Is Love Yourself First?
Yes. Love Yourself First.
Okay. And that's the one that you wrote first.
Yeah. That's the one I wrote first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, that's also going to be our book of the week. We're going to be, promoting that this week as well. But is there, I know you've launched an academy, and so you're also a coach. You want to talk a little bit about that and what that looks like if there's any viewers that would like to, get more information and maybe want to join your academy and see what that looks like?
Yeah. So it's called Krystle Laughter Academy, and it's a school for online, school for women to heal from toxic relationships or, and break toxic cycles and to turn their pain into purpose by, writing the books. And so it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And on there, I have just courses about healing from like abuse. I'm going to have a course coming. It's like on pre-order right now, the Love Yourself First course, where I go over the book, go over the workbook and things like that. I already have a book, a course called the Book Breakthrough.
Okay.
Just telling you how to write a book, how to publish a book on Amazon, how to overcome feeling like, overwhelmed or feeling inadequate. Like, who wants to hear a book from me? Why should I write a book? And then I tell you how much money I've made from my book. So just different things to help you just overcome that fear, the intimidation that could come with like writing a book for the first time. So that's going to be there. I have After Toxic, that's one of my courses, Self-Love 101.
Wow.
And a few other ones. I can't think of them right now. But, and so if you go to my website, KrystleLaughter.org, there's lots of links to that academy there. Or you can go to, I think it's academy.KrystleLaughter.org.
Okay. Yeah. And we have that information too. So we're going to bring that up. I just wanted to end with this. And of course, I do want to ask you if there's anything else that you want to share. But this quote that I did find that you have quoted: if you don't learn how to love yourself again, you give someone your treasure, and in return, they'll give you their trash.
Yeah,
Woo! Girl.
Yeah, that's a quote from
that just and I'm like, wow, that is so powerful. I wish every single woman could hear that.
Yeah, because I think coming into relationships, most of the time, we have like these pure intentions, like, man, I just want to find my husband, a man of God, so we can like right up into the sunset and just like be happy.
Yeah.
And like have like these pure intentions, but I think it's important to realize not everyone has those same intentions. And it doesn't matter if they have a label, I am a Christian, or I'm at church, or I'm doing this. It's the heart that matters.
That's good.
And so you can have all these good things to give. The Bible says a good man out of his good treasure brings goodness, but an evil man out of his evil treasures brings evil. So if there heart is not right, if they don't have the fruit, the Bible says you will know them by their fruit.
That's how you know
It's
them.
important to know, to take your time, because I rushed. I'm not gonna lie. Both of my marriages, I rushed. I rushed. I wanted to be married. I wanted to, have the intimacy, all the stuff we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't take the time to get to know who these people were, if they had a vision, if they really love God, what are, their habits, what are their past lives, their past life, you know what I mean? And it's important to realize, yes, God forgives. Yes, God can heal. But if a person hasn't already done that work, they're not going to be a good husband or a good spouse to you. And that the enemy uses people. He does. And if someone is not yielded and submitted to God with their whole heart, that he will more than happily use them to try to destroy you. And unfortunately, that has been my experiences with being married. But I know God is still good. And so I still have hope. I'm not worried about that. As you can see, I'm not worried about that, and I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm just focusing on God. I'm focusing on my purpose, on my children, on us building the life that we can be proud of. And, I would say I'm pretty much almost there, almost where I want to be. And so just take your time.
Good.
Don't rush love. The Bible says, don't rush. Don't awaken love before the time.
That's a quote right there. Yes, girl. Take your time. Don't rush love.
Don't rush it.
Yeah. Now, there was a song, You Can't Hurry Love. No, you just have to wait. Right? Yeah. Such a fun. I mean, we sing it, but then we don't want to apply it.
Right. No, love come down right now. I'm not waiting. Nope. What do you say, Jesus? No, you want to listen. Please listen. Because it's, listen. Yeah. And God is love. God is love. That's another thing. We're looking for love. But let yourself be loved by God. Let him reveal to you who you are. Because you don't know who you need if you don't know who you are.
Girl.
You don't know who you need as a husband. You could be marrying somebody. He was for your past, for your 10 years ago, or for, maybe at this moment, but not for your future. So you're marrying somebody who's going to be stuck in the past, and then you're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to get to where God wants you to be, because they don't understand that, because they weren't, created to go with you there. So that's another thing.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there will be more conversation that we'll be having. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I actually got chills when you said that. That is so good. That's so good. Is there anything else that you would want to share before we say goodbye? And I'm just enjoying having you on here, FYI.
Just trust God. I'll end with this. Before I left my marriage, I knew it was time to go. I knew it was time to go, but I was like, God, give me a plan, because I'm scared and I don't know what the heck I'm going to do, And God, the morning when I said it, that's it, I asked him to leave. I said, God, what is the plan? And he said, I am the plan. Oh, wow. I'm the plan. And I'm like, okay. That's it. That's a wrap. It's a wrap. And that was the day I'm like, I need you to leave. I need you to leave. And my life has gotten better ever since. And wow. It's only getting better, and I thank God for it.
Yes, amen. And other people's lives are getting better for it.
Yes.
So think of, 4,000 books. That's just one book. That doesn't include all the other books, your YouTube, doesn't even include. So you've already impacted thousands of women's lives. And I like to think that even those things will continue to multiply.
Yes. And it's an honor and a blessing.
Yes. Well, Krystle, it's been such a joy having you on here. We're going to bring your information up really quick. Let's bring her info up so that we can make sure that individuals know how to reach her on her website, on her Instagram. I believe your Instagram is at Krystle Laughter, right? Do we have that information, guys? Can we bring that up? And then your website is KrystleLaughter.org.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let me see, because I know we've got it. Let me make sure there we go. So at Krystle Laughter, that's her Instagram. And then her website is KrystleLaughter.org. So please check out her ministry. Maybe a lot of us have just heard and received, even the married ones in the room are going, ooh, that's good. So, any of us would be so honored to have you like
Mhm.
coaching and leading, especially for those that are single. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you.
We pray
Thank you.
God's blessing over you, his continued
Thank
grace
you.
over you as you parent your 7 babies as a single mama, but continued
Yeah.
grace to do what you do. And I love that you're encouraging other women to do what's in their heart to do. That tells me a lot about who you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody, Krystle Laughter, blessing to you, Krystle. Thank you so much for being on A New Thing Live.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. Wow. That was very, very power packed in a very short amount of time. If you didn't get to watch the entire interview, please go back to that beginning where she comes out. A lot was shared in a little bit of time. I kept looking at Pat and going, oh, that's a quote. Oh, that's a quote right there. I mean, just such good material. And as you can see, I mean, if you would just sit even under her tutelage, her mentorship, her coaching, her reading, I mean, her writing as a reader, if you just want to even get her book and just start there, oh my goodness, I already know you're going to be a changed person. So KrystleLaughter.org, and then her Instagram is at Krystle Laughter. So we have loved having you guys on here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight at A New Thing Live. We love you. We believe in you. We hope that whatever was shared and discussed tonight inspires you to do that new thing. Hey, if it's in your heart to do, then it's for you to do it. And I loved how Krystle was sharing that she was taking the time to even work after burning that midnight oil. She was writing her book after her kids were down. She said there were some nights where I only slept for 2 or 3 hours, and yet she got it done. And now it's well over 10 books that she's published. I don't know how many. No, there's more than 10. But there's something that you need to do. Stop resisting and just say, you know what? If Krystle can do it, I can do it. Okay, so be encouraged, be inspired. If you don't follow us on social media, follow us. Check us out. We're at anewthinglive.com is our website. Our YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube or Roku or Facebook, but you don't subscribe, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Just do a little search for A New Thing Live on YouTube, and then you'll see our little channel will pop up. And then if you have any prayer requests, any needs, or any concerns or questions, any of the above, email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. We are so here for you. We're so in your corner. We so believe in you guys. Every one of you. If you have breath in you, then there's something that you're supposed to be doing. There's a calling and an assignment on your life that only you can do and only you can fulfill. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Another huge thank you to Krystle Laughter. Have an incredible week. Set your alarm for next Monday night. We're going to have something different, something new. We're going to have a new thing ourselves next Monday night. So you're not going to want to miss it. Have an incredible week, you guys. And we'll see you next time on A New Thing Live. God bless. Are you ready?